Hello all. Welcome to this demo on how to protect MCP servers with F5 Distributed CloudWAF. First, let's go over a quick introduction to Model Context Protocol. Agentic AI is one of the most recent generative AI patterns, where tools are being used to enhance the LLM's capabilities. Initially, tools were tightly integrated with the AI agents, but increasingly there are instances where there is a need to separate the tools from the agent's code. For example, if the AI agent code and the tools are being managed by two different providers, integrating them at code level might be impossible. Model Context Protocol has been developed to allow tools to be advertised by MCP servers and consumed by corresponding MCP clients, which are interfaces used by MCP hosts. Technically, MCP is defining the exchanges of messages over JSON RPC 2.0 to connect MCP clients to MCP servers. Although MCP is a fairly new protocol, there are already vulnerabilities identified in MCP implementations. As agentic AI based on MCP tools is expected to become more prevalent, the number of these vulnerabilities is also projected to increase. Let's explore this with the help of a short demo. For the purpose of this demo, we will be using Anthropic's Claude client, connecting to a remote MCP server. Since Claude only supports local MCP servers at this point, we will be also using the MCP Remote Proxy to enable remote MCP server connectivity. As you can see, Claude has successfully connected to the remote MCP server, and it found three tools: ping, read file, and get page. For this demo, we will assume the ping tool implementation is vulnerable to attacks. Let's see how Claude is using this tool when the user is sending a valid, benign request. As expected, pinging the local host address is successful. Claude is displaying a summary of the results, and we can also check the details of the tool response. Let's assume a malicious user is sending an attack, seeking to take advantage of the MCP tool vulnerability. In this case, we will append a directory listing command. This malicious command is executed in addition to the ping command. As before, the results are summarized by Claude, and we can also see the details of the tool response, listing all the folders in the root directory. One of the most effective ways to protect a vulnerable MCP server would be to have F5 Distributed CloudWAF securing the MCP server. F5 Distributed CloudWAF is a high-efficacy, easy-to-configure solution with the added benefit of being able to protect against MCP attacks out of the box. The F5 Distributed Cloud Platform has an additional advantage by offering other capabilities which are useful in this scenario, such as API security. Let's rerun the previous malicious request. As you can see, this time Claude keeps waiting for the tool to respond, but apparently no response is received. This is because the malicious request has already been blocked by the F5 Distributed CloudWAF, which returned the default blocked response page, but this page could not be processed by Claude as it does not conform to the MCP protocol. Eventually, the request will time out, but let's see a better solution to integrate F5 Distributed CloudWAF. First, we will use WAF MCP Remote Proxy, a wrapper of MCP Remote Proxy that can process WAF blocked response pages. A link to the WAF MCP Remote package, including a user guide, will be provided in the description below. The only change on the F5 Distributed CloudWAF side is to customize the blocked response page to use JSON formatting and the HTTP response status code to a value that can be configured in the WAF MCP Remote Proxy, which, for the purpose of this demo, is 403. Let's resend the attack request, and this time you can see Claude has immediately processed the F5 Distributed CloudWAF blocked response page. Claude is providing a natural language explanation of this incident and is also showing the details of the response, which is the WAF blocking page content we configured earlier. As you have seen in this demo, protecting your MCP servers with F5 Distributed CloudWAF is very easy, most attacks being blocked out of the box with minimal configuration. With this being said, we've reached the end of our demo. Thank you for your attention.